if you're trying to become a high value man just by copying confidence hacks, dating tactics, I have to say that you're already in the losing end right now. Because people are going to start responding to your way of being and not what you outwardly showcase yourself to be. And men, unknowingly, they are leaking their energy every single day because they do not have a stable nervous system, they do not have an ability to regulate their pressure, and they are not leading from a place of integrity. And if you're one of them, in this video, we are going to break down what are the 5 shifts that is actually going to help you to become a high value man in 2026. So if you're new here, I'm Vesh and I'm a men's coach and I help men heal with their traumas, attachment issues and wounded masculinity in order for them to pursue meaningful connection with women. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Now, everyone has different definition of what a high value man actually looks like, and there's a lot of red pill content which says that if you have the looks, if you have the money, you automatically become high value. But I don't agree with this perspective. In my eyes, a man who is high value is someone who is emotionally regulated, who has that sense of confidence in himself, who knows who he is, and who has the ability to withstand stress and pressure. And high value doesn't mean just about being performative in nature, because people respond to who you are internally. They just don't respond to who you are externally. Yes, maybe sometimes the external aspects can get you across the first barrier of attraction, but for you to withstand it as a relationship, you need to have that sense of integrity as a man. You need to have a sense of confidence and even that nervous system stability to actually withstand a relationship. So the first way to actually become a high value man is nervous system regulation. And trust me, if you have grown up in a household where your parents gave you conditional love, where you have to develop coping mechanisms to actually deal with your traumas, and you had to shut parts of yourself, reject parts of yourself, or even have negative motivation as fuel to build you, your nervous system is not regulated. Because when these things happen in your childhood, your nervous system can enter any of these 3 stages. One is a fight mode where you're constantly in a victim mindset and fighting other people. One is a flight mode where you are constantly in a state of avoidance. And one is a freeze mode where you are constantly in a state of shutdown where you can't even speak for yourself, you can't even stand up for yourself. Because anyways, there is some form of danger externally or through your peers or socially, your body kind of enters a shutdown. Even in relationships as well. If your woman is actually communicating her needs to you or expressing her stress to you, if you are someone who shuts down, it's highly likely that your nervous system is in a freeze state. And a dysregulated man, no matter what, he cannot have the most important masculine quality, that is of presence, because he is constantly in that state of fight, flight or freeze mode as well. And presence by a man is the felt safety that others feel around him. It's a very biological aspect, especially something that women can detect very fast, because no matter how much you externally try to showcase that you are pretty cool as a man, you've got your shit together as a man, women can sense that if you're bullshitting them or if you're truly safe from within. And this is exactly why the mindset alone does not work, because I have worked with so many men who had it all together externally, but internally they were crumbling, and what they needed the most was nervous system regulation. The second way for you to become a high value man is doing shadow work, where you actually look into the parts of you which you are rejecting and you are cleaning up the emotional leakage as well. So suppressed emotions inside a man often causes emotional leaks. Shame causes nice guy behaviors. If you have fear, you go into a state of approval seeking from women and people around you. And if you're carrying guilt, you will often go into a state of overgiving, and this shows up in relationships as well. And know one thing for sure, low emotional states does not disappear when you actually ignore them, but it gets stored in your body and it gets suppressed in your body, which actually quietly governs your authority as a man. And when you're younger, you will have less suppressed emotion, but the more time passes by, when you're in your 30s and when you're in your 40s, eventually that emotional baggage becomes so big that you might end up having some kind of disease in your body if you don't deal with your traumas. There are a lot of cases where men all of a sudden have a cardiovascular attack or a heart attack out of the blue. Why does this happen? because he is carrying so much stress in his body. His cortisol levels are so high, and he is constantly in a state of suppressing his emotions, which manifests often in the form of outer diseases. So let me ask you one thing. If you don't face your traumas, your wounds, your fears, and your suppressed emotion, how much more longer can you go on as a man without it leaking into your relationships, the respect that you have for yourself, and also your ability to actually lead in your life? The third way into you becoming a high value man is you actually restoring your integrity and self respect. The nice guys, specifically, they do not have much self respect at all because they've been taught from a very young age that having self respect and integrity is pretty dangerous because that is going to cost them attachment to their family. So they have learned behaviors where they go into people pleasing, approval seeking, and over giving and chasing other people. And what does integrity actually mean? It's not some moral scale that we are using. Integrity means your inner alignment, how authentic you are towards yourself. There are so many times where you wanted to say no to someone else, but you could not say no because you thought saying no would make you look like a bad person. You thought it would actually hurt their feelings. But what is it happening at the cost of? Your own feelings. For you, your feelings don't matter. For you, your needs don't matter because you've always learned to prioritize the other person's needs. And what is integrity all about? Can you say what you mean without the fear of collapsing because you think you disappointed someone else? Most of you guys have so much guilt associated with you saying no to someone. But trust me, if you are not going to stand up for yourself, no one is going to be able to do that. And you are the one who is going to eventually collapse under this people pleasing habit. So, how much more longer are you going to continue this habit where you don't know how to stand up for yourself and you're not even willing to work on yourself? And nothing drops a man's value faster than self betrayal. I had a client once, he is very well off, extremely rich, he is pretty successful in his life, in his late 30s as well. But his relationships failing one after the other. Because why? His success was actually built from a place of that young boy inside him seeking his parents' validation. So even though he put all his energy and resources into the external things that brought him a sense of stability, internally he was never stable. And when we were doing the session, what did we have to do? We had to revisit his childhood through modalities like hypnotherapy that I did on him. And throughout the whole session, there was so many emotions being released where he could not even stop crying. And he is someone who hadn't cried in over 8 years. So when the emotions start pouring out, it pours out so fast that sometimes it's like a dam releasing all the stored water for many years. The fourth way into becoming a high value man is controlling your dopamine and controlling your attention. The first thing I really want all of you guys to do is stop consuming porn. It is so damaging to you guys. Most of my clients who come to me who have a porn addiction, they are the ones who have the least amount of confidence. It's doing so much damage to you guys. It's literally frying your brain. It's putting your brain and nervous system in a sake of seeking dopamine all the time. And then once you don't have the dopamine, it crashes immediately. So the more you live in that state of fantasy, the more you are not going to have any kind of confidence in real life, even when it comes to speaking to a woman. And this is exactly why you need to work on your dopamine, because if you're constantly chasing dopamine, that means you have a weak follow through. You have zero control over your urges. And a man who does not have any control over his own urges does not respect himself. And if you don't respect yourself, it affects your confidence. And a high value man is someone who definitely respects himself to do what is actually good for him. And now let me ask you the most important question. If you don't trust yourself enough to control your impulses, how do you expect a woman to actually come into your life and trust you to lead emotionally, sexually, relationally, and how can she have that faith in your leadership skills as well? And the fifth way is actually building high quality connections. Remember one thing, You are what your friends are. If your friends are bitter about women, if your friends are stuck in victim mindset, eventually you're sending a subconscious message to yourself that it is okay to be like that. Whatever your friends think, eventually it influences the way you think about yourself and your actions as well. So, if you're around people who have no aim in their life, if you're around people who do not believe in self development or taking care of themselves, you will become a man exactly like them, and it's not going to be possible for you to become a high value man. And your nervous system actually mirrors your environment, and a weak man has a weak environment as well. And high value men do not explain their standards. They make a conscious choice for themselves as to who they want to surround themselves with, what kind of people they want to be associated with. And even if that means he is going to be alone temporarily for a while without actually having friends in his life, that is also still fine for him because somewhere he has a deeper purpose that he is actually working towards. And the most important thing that you need to figure out for yourself as a masculine man is what is your purpose? Define your purpose specifically for the next coming year. It doesn't have to be something grand that you're doing charity of some sort. A purpose can be something that you actually put your attention onto. So, a high value man, he does not explain his standards to other people, but he organizes the room around him in such a way that it helps him grow in his life. So tell me one thing, if you don't work on regulating your nervous system and if you don't work on stabilizing your nervous system as well, how do you expect yourself to get out of these states of fear, anxiety as a man, low confidence as a man? How much more longer are you willing to keep doing this to yourself without actually taking that action to heal yourself as well? Because it's only through these steps you're actually going to become a high value man. And if nothing changes in your nervous system a year from now, if you're still stuck in that state of fear and overthinking, not knowing who you are as a man, where does that put you 1 year from now? By the end of next year, you should have become the man that you are truly proud of. And for that, you have to start taking the steps right now. And also, if you're done guessing yourself and if you want to see real changes in yourself, you would have to use modalities like hypnotherapy, which actually brings out your trauma. It's like we are trying to purge your traumas as well. And I have designed courses which you'll find in the description box below, which is going to help you with your nervous system regulation, building your confidence from the root as well. And apart from this, if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, you can reach out to me through Instagram and DM me the keyword coach to actually book a one-on-one consultation with me to have personalized session. You will find the link to my Instagram as well in the description box below, and I hope this episode was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.